You hear about them parties? Nah, that wasn't for me. No, sir.
What's that? That's Mob King?
Niggas feeling marvelous.
You gotta get the shoes though. Y'all know what it is.
Beanie Sigel was the shit.
Yeah, he was fired.
And they would only let Beanie Sigel only sell so many records. This came from an executive for Benny. They would you couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z on Jay-Z's label.
The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, alleges that rapper Jay-Z, along with Diddy, indecently assaulted her at a New York house party in the year 2000 following the MTV Video Music Awards.
Holmes attended the award show with his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez.
Lately, there's been a lot of talk that Diddy might be facing life in prison. Now, rumors are spreading that he's trying to make a deal with the feds by snitching and giving up big names to get a lighter sentence. And we're not talking about small-time names. Insiders say he's naming some big people, including his longtime friend Jay-Z. Allegedly, now Beanie Sigel is speaking out and he's saying Jay better run while there's still time. Apparently, Beanie believes Diddy has some serious dirt on Jay that goes all the way back to the 90s. It seems like he's saying things behind the scenes are way worse than we thought. But what does Beanie really know about Jay and Diddy's relationship? And is Diddy really about to tell on everyone? Let's get into it. The pressure on Diddy seems to be getting very serious. Insiders are saying he's looking at life in prison, and in situations like this, even powerful people can start to break down. From what we're hearing, Diddy isn't planning to go down alone. He's allegedly ready to start naming names, and not just any names, but none other than Jay-Z, but this didn't come out of nowhere. Remember last year when Diddy's son Christian released that diss track Pick a Side? He warned his dad's celebrity friends that if they didn't support Diddy, there would be consequences. Jay-Z didn't show any support. In fact, he got his lawyer Alex Spiro to say publicly that Jay and Diddy were never even friends.
I mean, Mr. Carter has nothing to do with Mr. Combs' case or Mr. Combs. They knew each other professionally for a number of years, just like in all professions. People know each other. At the music awards, they support each other. If you go to the NBA All-Star game, they support each other. That's just how professions work. There is no closer association between any of them. That's also a matter of fiction. That's all that there is. He doesn't know anything about the charges or allegations against him. He has nothing to do with that case. And there's nothing more to say.
Allegedly, Diddy lost it when he saw that statement. Now, multiple sources close to the situation say Diddy is done keeping quiet and will do whatever it takes to save himself. Even if that means exposing Jay-Z's darkest secrets, this is where Beanie Sigel's warning starts to make sense. Beanie was one of Jay's most loyal people back in the day. During the Rockefeller era, he worked hard both on the mic and in the streets. He stayed loyal even when it cost him his freedom, but when Beanie got into legal trouble, Jay-Z didn't help him. Now, with Diddy possibly facing life in prison, Jay-Z is once again nowhere to be found. Jay and Diddy have been friends and business associates since the 90s. That means Diddy saw everything that went on behind closed doors at Rockefeller and later Roc Nation. That includes business deals, street connections, and who got protected when the feds started investigating. If Diddy really is snitching, he could expose how Jay-Z managed to stay clean while letting guys like Beanie take the fall. That would destroy Jay's image and prove that everything Beanie's been saying for years is true.
Right now I'm facing weapons violations, attempted murder. They try and get a boy 20 to 40 years. They came to me with a deal. Their deal was 18 to 36 years. Of course I turned it down. Thought this was America, people. Guilty until proven innocent, huh?
When Beanie went to jail, he thought his Rockefeller team, especially Jay-Z, would support him. But instead, all he got was silence. Beanie has said in interviews that he felt completely left out and betrayed by Jay.
You got me. So at that time, when, I'm going to court, and we about to be on tour. We on tour. So
A whole nother tour.
yeah, we on a whole nother tour. So, I'm going for my bail hearing in the feds, and the judge asked Jay, everybody's saying all these good things and all that, the character witnesses, Dame, and, everybody's saying, and even Jay said a whole lot of good things about me, and the judge was gonna let me go, monitor. And she said, you know, would you be willing, and that's the part that people don't have, would you be willing to be responsible for his whereabouts, not be responsible for my actions, just his whereabouts? Would you be willing to do that? Provide us with all the information, you know, saying that he's going to be here, there. And after all that good, he said no. But it was like the way he said it, and he put his head down, he was like, no, I've never been crushed like that ever in my life. Cause I'm like, damn, this is my man, like and I looked at it like, all right, no. What if I had to get the out of there? I'm in jail, I'm still tall, all my, but what if I really needed to go? This was going to my mind. Like,
get out of jail, you say?
Like, yeah, like, bro, I had attempted in the state and the federal government and all this shit. The 40 years is over. This is what I'm facing, 40 years.
Right.
What if in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, what if I really needed to roll? Be on a run and go. Like, I'm from like, this is my man and I love him. If he skipped up, you know, I'm getting my man, I'm getting him out by any means necessary. So for me to look him in his eyes and I'm sitting, I'm shackled around the wrist, ankles and everything, and the man was like, oh. Like that fucked me up. It took everything in me not to like let one go. Like that took away a lot of that I thought that we had.
Right.
Like that's big.
On the other hand, Dame Dash was always there for Beanie. He showed up at the trial and made sure everyone knew he wasn't alone. Interview 5. While Beanie was fighting his legal battles, Jay-Z was busy dropping the Black Album and announcing his retirement, only to come back a few months later. By 2005, Rockefeller wasn't what it used to be. Jay became the head of Def Jam while Damon and Biggs moved on. But Beanie got left behind. That same year, Beanie dropped his third album, The Becoming. It was a strong project, mostly recorded while he was in the middle of his court case. But it didn't get the support it needed. Jay didn't make Beanie a priority. Beanie has hinted in interviews that Jay blocked him from other opportunities. He kept Beanie tied to Rockefeller but didn't really help his career move forward. Then in 2009, Beanie released What You Talking About, a diss track clearly aimed at Jay-Z. He didn't hold back. He called Jay out for being fake and selfish, saying Jay used him for street cred and then threw him away when he wasn't useful anymore.
The question is, did Jay really call up them people? Just need to know to add them to the infested extermination list.
Listen, before I even got there to the building, you gotta understand this. It's all documented. This year's Powerhouse, Jay came last year. In the Philadelphia Daily News, the day after the Powerhouse, it had an article. And I didn't even go to the Powerhouse last year. It had an article in it. Inside sources say Jay-Z beefs up security and threat that a retaliation from Beanie Sigel for dropping him from the label.
This was in the newspaper.
It's in the paper. It's public record. Go. It's $20. You can search it and find it. It's public record. That was last year. So when I'm reading this, like, damn, what the? You know what I mean? Inside sources say.
Right.
Where that come from? I ain't never see the Powerhouse where they got boot cops walking around with K9s and all that shit. Go on the internet, Google it. Bernard Hopkins was there. I didn't even know Bernard was there.
Right.
Go to allhiphop.com. He confirms it.
So there you are, just like the song says.
Yeah, because what happened was, I stood right in and because they made sweeps. When I came in the building, and people was going in the back and all that where the dressing rooms was at. We was standing in the back, me and my peoples or whatever. Bleak come out with 5 bodyguards. What's up, C? No, what's going on? Damn, what's up? What you doing? Who back there, Jay? Come on, let's go back there. And you keep on moving the conversation, and you don't want to go back there. Your bodyguard's there, and I don't got no, you know what I mean, to pass. He was like, man, you need to come holler at the big hump. Man, dude, don't with me. I ain't going back there. And that's what I told him. Big homie, don't with me.
When Jay-Z was asked about it, he acted like it wasn't a big deal. He blamed Beanie and said the whole thing was just Beanie not owning up to his own problems.
Well, Beanie Sigel is complaining a lot these days.
Well, he has a lot to complain about.
I know.
Not me.
Well, actually, this morning I just got a brand new interview. It's half an hour long, and he's talking basically about you, about the company, about basically how you didn't push him as much as, let's say, 50 Cent pushed some of his boys. How do you feel about that?
Well, Beanie Sigel at the time, and you can look it up if you like, just to be honest, was driving 2 Bentleys. I don't know how. It's impossible to drive 2 cars at one time. With his mama in the sticks and selling 800,000 records, I don't know what more can you do for somebody, you know, at that point. What people choose to do when they attain that type of a success, you know, at some point you have to look in the mirror and look at yourself. You know, Beanie Sigel had a record deal, a record label, and a clothing line. I mean, it never went platinum, ever. I don't know, in the history of rap, has anyone done so much with so little? So I don't even know what more can you do for a person at that point. A record label, a record deal, that's normal. A record label and a clothing line. So if that's not pushing the person, I mean.
But now, Beanie seems ready to admit he made mistakes. Till he says his biggest mistake was trusting Jay-Z instead of Dame. Recently, Dame Dash spoke in an interview on The Art of Dialogue, calling out Jay-Z. He said Jay tricked Beanie and purposely sidelined him. Dame said he always saw Beanie as the future of Rockefeller, someone who could carry the legacy, but Beanie stayed loyal to Jay, thinking Jay had his back. What he didn't know was that Jay was allegedly working behind the scenes to keep Beanie from coming back.
Beans was getting ready. We thought he was going to go to jail for a couple of years. He was on trial. So I was trying to make 4 albums for him, or 5. I was more bothered when Beans chose to go with Jay. That one hurt. Because I'd done a lot and prepared. I chose State Property over Rockware. And I wanted to just roll out with State Property. But it almost like he tricked Beans to shelf him, and he f***ed his life up to me doing that. But I had him, you know what I mean? Like, that was my new Jay.
Eventually, Beanie spoke up and agreed with Dame. He admitted that he took Dame for granted.
Dame actually came and got me when I got out of prison. And we was on a tour bus, and they was interviewing me. And they asked me then and there on a bus. Now I'm just getting out of prison. Like, he at the jail picked me up. And they posed that question that I was, you know, or made the statement that I was going to be with Dame Dash Music Group. And I said then that I didn't want to make that choice between Jay or Dame. I just wanted to stay neutral. I believe if we had those conversations, I believe I would have rolled with Dame. I'd have rocked with Dame. Yeah, if Dame set me down and he had a plan, regardless what the plan was, and mapped it out like this was going to do, the smartest decision at that time for me would have rolled with Dame, because Dame was more accessible than Jay was. Dame was in the office every day. You could talk to Dame, you know what I mean? Dame used to come and chill on the block in South Philly. You know what I mean? Dame pull up in Biggs at Mom Duke's spot. So, yeah, I think if we would have sat and he would have showed me and explained to me, you know, our business plan and what we was going to do, that would have been an easy decision.
When it comes to Jay-Z, Beanie said it definitely felt like there were secret moves being made to hold him back. Things like Jay dropping his albums around the same time as Beanie's and only letting Beanie sell so many records. Beanie admitted he made some legal mistakes, but he made it clear that Jay's actions weren't just a coincidence.
I don't think one man could destroy another man's life. It's ultimately in your own decisions. You know, I had a lot of issues. Like I said, legal issues at the time. And, you know, my mind wasn't where I'm at now today. Like, I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe, or right before me. Like, I was always close. And I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe.
Now, with all these rumors that Diddy is ready to snitch, fans are starting to connect the dots. Jay-Z has a long history of leaving friends behind when things get tough. And maybe now, karma's finally catching up to him. If Diddy really tells everything he knows, who knows what else might come out? So what do you think? Is Jay finally paying the price for his old betrayals? And if Diddy spills all the tea, how deep do you think this will go? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't miss the next video.